Amir Biojono. Okay. So we left off in Halacha of Shabbat on page 291. Okay. You recording? Press the button, please. There. Is there?
Yes, good.
Okay, thank you. We are on page 290 in the Halacha one we did in the morning, speaking about the laws of can you toast bread that is already baked and you want to make it hard, you want to make it crunchy. Are you allowed to do that on Shabbat or not? We have Rambam. Rambam says, what's the definition of cooking? So it says if you take something that it is soft and you're making it hard, or you're making something that is hard by cooking it, you're making it soft. Like you take a hard meat that you're not able to bite on it, it's too hard, and then you are cooking it and becomes soft. So that's cooking on Shabbat. So says Ravadia, maybe the same problem will be when a person is taking the soft bread and is putting it on the hot plate, plata, and he's hardening it. He made it something soft, hard. Maybe will be prohibited, not allowed. Comes Ravadia Yosef near John and says, there is no problem. Why? He says, when do we say making something soft, hard, it's a problem? That's only for materials that are not edible. Something that it is an edible thing, the laws of making it hard, something soft making it hard, does not apply. Therefore, a person is allowed on Shabbat to put the bread that it is already pre-baked, it's fully baked, he's allowed to take that and put it on a plata and make it crispy. There is no any problem. Aaron Famidim, bet. Fully crispy. Moshe Aaron, huh? Yeah, you're allowed to crisp it 100%. Make it suchariki. Enjoy. No problem. That was number one. Number two, Yaakov. On what does the dispute depend? So we said that there is a dispute about cooking after cooking. We said, Yaakov, the laws of cooking after cooking applies to liquids or no?
Yes.
Huh?
Liquid.
Sahar Jobudi?
Yes.
Sahar.
Whole of
So, the cooking after cooking by liquid applies or no?
Yes.
We said it's machloket. Rambam holds that Gemara told us the machloket starts based on the Gemara in Masechet Shabbat, page Kuf Mem Hey, Amud Bet. Gemara says, thank you, that the laws of cooking does not apply something that is already cooked. The Gemara says, give us an example. Gemara says, as Rabbi Abba, there was one rabbi, his name was Mulo Abo. Rabbi Abba cooked chicken before Shabbat. He was sick, he was a very weak person. And every time he needed to strengthen himself, so the doctor told him, you're taking a chicken before Shabbat, you're cooking it, and every day you're eating a little bit of it, but you have to reheat it every time. And he used to reheat it on Shabbat also. He was not sick to the point of death. He was sick, he needed to strengthen himself. The Gemara says that the chicken of Rabbi Abba was allowed to reheat on Shabbat. Now question, this chicken had liquid in there or no? Because once it was cooked, they had liquid in there, right? Like you make yachni. You're taking the chicken and you are cooking it, boiled chicken. The question is, you boil it so much to the point that on Shabbat there was already no liquid, or there was liquid and you're still allowed. Comes the Rambam and says this chicken of Rabbi Abba, it's even if he had liquid. Gemara said there is no cooking after cooking. You're allowed to reheat it on Shabbat.
But how do we go to the soup from?
Here, he made two chais. Which chai you want?
Rabbi,
Huh?
how does Rambam go to the soup? This is different.
He says that the chicken of Rabbi Abba was with the soup.
Yeah, but the main one was the chicken, and you can argue like other, like we hold like
Chicken soup is the same thing. The main ingredient is yeah. Put a door stopper. Yeah. So the chicken of Rabbi Abba, Achaim of John. Samuel John. Where's your brother?
When when you say chicken, it means the main is a chicken.
Yeah.
So and you have water there.
So it's like a soup. Is the chicken of Rabbi Abba, Shmuel John, is the chicken of Rabbi Abba that he cooked was soup or was just plain chicken? That's the debate. Rambam says it was a soup. He used to reheat every time soup. Rashi says, no, it was not soup. It was chicken, dry chicken.
Then this would be allowed.
So it says, why? What's the source of the debate? This page 140, I believe 5. Let me double check myself. 145, B. There is another page, 38, Lamed Chet. Shabbat, yeah. Gemara says over there, you know, Shmuel, on Shabbat, you're not allowed to put a towel or any blanket on your food for the first time on Shabbat. Not allowed to. This prohibition called hatmana, insulation. Why is it not allowed? So Gemara says, because when a person is insulating something, before that he heats it. He warms it up. But after he'll warm it up, he'll cover it for the heat to remain inside, right? So Chazal said, any week, any day of the week. Chazal said, that's what the Gemara said, that if a person is going to be allowed to insulate on Shabbat for the first time, before insulation, what happens? Reheating happens, right? Warming up. I remember, as I told you last time, my mother used to prepare us the food, and in order for it to stay hot, she used to cook it in the morning, and then take the pot that it was cooked under with, and put it under blankets, under the pillows of the, I remember, of the sofa, korpecha. It used to come after school. You don't need no microwave, no nothing. It was warm, not hot, it was warm, pleasant to eat. Food for the children after work, after school. She used, many times was not around at that time. She was at work, so it was available for us. So this korpecha, Yaakov, when do you put this korpecha on Shabbat? Or korpecha after you reheat the food. You don't put cold food on the korpecha; it's not going to help it. So says the Gemara, we are afraid that if you will allow people to put korpecha, to put cover in insulation on their pot, you know what's going to happen, Yaakov? No. People are going to reheat on Shabbat. And then they're going to cover it. What's the problem? Let them reheat. Didn't we learn one page 145 that anything was cooked already allowed to reheat? No. This we'll learn. Just, I'll touch your question. So didn't we say that you're allowed to reheat? Gemara said anything that was cooked, you're allowed to recook it. Reheat it. Says Rashi, Gemara in 145 spoke about a chicken. And page 38, we're talking about soup.
So you cannot cover the soup, but you could you could insulate the chicken.
Huh?
You could insulate.
No, so because of that, Chazal restricted everything.
Even the salt, even rice.
Right.
You can't even insulate that.
No. Give it to him. It's already, I didn't touch it. They gave me 2. Atujo.
Wait, so you cannot even put a piece of
Oh. Amina Rosa Bini.
Abeno, Shakol.
Shas Bechor. Give it to Bechor. Bechor, he is serving you personally. Didi. For this you have to say Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo. Amen.
Wait, so the rice you cannot cover it?
Not allowed.
Why not?
Before to be Shabbat.
But it's solid, it's already cooked. Even if you're cooking, but there's no cooking at the point for a solid.
You are correct.
So how much more so?
But Chazal restricted insulation because there is a way for mistake. There is a room for
But
mistake.
it's the installation of a mistake that even if it's a mistake is food.
You are correct. Logically, you are correct. But Chazal didn't see that split. They said that if there is a room for mistake, we don't allow that to happen. Where? In the soup. So therefore, Chazal did not allow any person to insulate his food for the first time on Shabbat.
What do you mean first time?
For the first time, you're insulating it. But what if a person, Bechor, wants to take his osvo pot to Baburia and eat osvo with her? But on the way from his house to Baburia, the osvo is going to get cold.
It's off the fire.
So what he wants to do, he wants to take the osvo from the plata, covered with a lot of blankets, korpecha, put it in the kalyaska, ba'agala was man kariv, and go with this to Babulia. Can you do that on Shabbat or no? Not allowed.
But it's off the fire now.
Why? Because you're putting the blankets for the first time on Shabbat.
So
But is there a way around?
Yeah.
Says Halachot, there is a way around.
Yes.
How? If you're gonna put the blanket before Shabbat or any cover, towel, anything, you cover the pot before Shabbat. So when Shabbat came in, it was covered, right?
Yeah.
The restriction of re-insulating it again does not apply.
remove it, take the food, put it back on, and put the towel back.
כל הכבוד, yeah. ברשות מוריי ורבותיי, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהכל נהיה בדברו. When you say Amen Bechor, which Amen Kavanah is supposed to have in mind?
Aleph, Mim, Nun.
Aleph, Yud, Yud, Aleph, Hey. Then, Don He. That's the right side. You see the Kavanot, you gotta be Kabbalist, Habibi. You're covering your ears like Baba Sali.
I'm far from there.
You gotta be Kabbalist.
I'm far from there.
Kabbalistic is supposed to cover the ears, you know, Bechor? You see the Baba Sali, you see him or no?
Which ear?
Always his head covered. Ears. Kabbalistically.
Really?
You see son, also pictures, ears covered.
Why?
Kabbalistic is supposed to do that. Why?
All day?
Yeah, all the time.
Awesome.
So Amir is halfway in.
I didn't even know this. I didn't even know this. I had Ruach Kodesh. With Ruach Kodesh.
That's what I'm telling you. If you're already halfway through, you gotta know the kavanot.
It's only 50%.
Yeah, let's go back to us. If so, Bechor, because of this debate, Maran says, according to Rambam, reheat soup, no problem. According to Rashi, Rosh, it is a problem. How are we going to psak halacha? What are we going to do? Bottom line, Rabbi John. Safek, the oraita, not allowed to do that. Asu, to reheat soup on Shabbat. Rabbi John, I have a goy, home attendant. Can I ask the goy to put the soup on the plata when the plata is on and it's gonna make it palakas, hot?
100%.
No.
Allowed or no?
No.
Why allowed, Bechor?
Because there's machloket, that's why. No.
Telling the goy is isur de Rabbanan, and now, but you tell him you're not allowed to. Why you here you allow it?
Machloket.
Because it's not 100% not allowed.
Rambam is allowed.
It's debatable. Rambam says it's allowed. So how Rambam said, why then the Gemara in page 38 said you're not allowed to insulate? He says, you know why? Not because you might reheat. Because you might poke the coals in order to reheat. The heating is not a problem. Because you don't have a problem to reheat. No dry problem, no liquid problem. Hey, Rabbi, why am I allowed to cover insulation? No. Why not? Because in order to insulate, you got to reheat, right? So what? So let me read. You said it's allowed to reheat. But in order to reheat, you need coals. Ugel shtov garel. Now coals has a nature that always die. In order for you to make something hot, you got to work the coals. You got to poke them, you got to flip them. And flipping a coal on Shabbat Bechor, it's two violations. One is turning off. This is on. When you're going to flip it, that side is going to turn off. And the other side that it is off, because there is no oxygen exposure, you're going to flip it, it's going to turn on. So two violations by poking one coal. And if you poke 20 coals in order for the heat to go, how many isurim you have done? So said that's the reason Chazal said you're not allowed to cover with insulation.
I don't understand how insulation is compared to coals.
And this answers your question, Rabbi. According to Rashi, the whole problem is that we're going to reheat, right? So it only applies to liquid then. To rice, it doesn't apply. That was your
I
question.
understand that.
So we're going to follow that or no? The answer is no. Because first of all, some explain that according to Rashi, it's general gezerah, including the dry or liquid. And according to Rambam, The coals will apply regardless if it's dry or liquid, because you're afraid on the coals. You're not afraid about the substance you're gonna reheat.
So if you tell the guy to put the soup on the platter, you can how much more? So you can tell the guy also to cover it with the installation, to put the towels on.
Nachon?
Because that's even easier.
Nachon?
That's the Rabbanan. but
Right,
it's
right.
Now the
allowed
question
to
is,
not.
can you
Is it
put
the same status?
So Safek de Rabbanan. Right, for us, but for the goy, Safek de Rabbanan. Safek de Rabbanan. Lekula.
No,
Bechor kaifuit bechor. Now he's gonna have finally his hot soup. Shorbo palakas. Rose Shabbat. No problem.
Was is good?
What allowed? To reheat soup? Oh. Ashkenazim don't hold it's allowed. Ashkenazim say if the soup is still lukewarm, not cold,
Lukewarm.
you will be allowed to reheat it on Shabbat. But from the refrigerator, sorry, that's cold. That's not allowed to.
how about so somebody wants to do like drink their coffee with hot like with milk? Why can't we just put the milk not in a tolerable hot, like just a little bit warmer, meaning it's very cold in the fridge. You just wanna put it in the pot, put it in the on the platter, just to warm, just to be warm, room temperature warm.
So we spoke about this.
I wasn't
You
here.
might forget.
Exactly. We said that you might
You're
forget.
standing over there. What if you're standing over there? You're watching. You
Suddenly
have a
get that
shomer.
salakol. What do you do? You left it over there.
The person is not a Hatzala member.
Software.
He's shomer. You have a shomer over there.
Yeah, that's again Chazal said. Chazal said we're afraid you might forget. And it's possible. It's not, out of the blue to forget. It's very common.
Especially standing here for 20 minutes, you're not gonna
Not
stand
20
there,
minutes.
to do
Not 20 minutes.
Hagai,
4 minutes, 5 minutes.
whatever. It's still.
Yo, Peshe Rabbi.
Guys, that's it. Haggai's time now.
So 4 or 5 minutes, even that
That's
is
it.
not okay?
I said in the morning,
Push some.
not gonna have
9:55.
a lot of million of questions and no distractions.
So
You don't have any
4 or 5
distractions?
minutes.
I'm going downstairs.
If
Whoever wants to learn is gonna come.
Rab, 9:55, stop the shiur, answer the questions.
Okay.
9:55.
You said it.
You have another 20 minutes.
No. Parashat Yimeshu.
1 minute.
You have to do parasha
Yeah,
also?
once a week you polish it.
Yeah, let's go.
10 minutes, stop parasha.
So we left off on number 4. So now you understood Bechor that you're not allowed to reheat soup on Shabbat, but a goy can reheat for you on Shabbat, even though the plata is palakas hot, and he's gonna make the soup palakas hot, no problem. Why? Because as the goy, it's debatable on the Rabbanan level. It's not debatable on Torah level because it's not obligated to keep the Torah. I am restricted to tell the goy or benefit from the goy, even if I didn't say
already
it,
told-
will be a problem.
I already told my wife, that's it.
What you told your wife?
Soup to start doing, yeah.
For Shabbat? Yeah, you're allowed to. Why not? Enjoy.
He's not doing soup because
Very good.
he's not eating it.
But when are you going to eat it, Friday night or Shabbat morning?
It depends.
If you're going to eat it Friday night, you have no problem regardless.
Right, regardless.
But if you're going to eat it Shabbat morning, then it's going to cool off.
No, it's also okay.
Right, how would you do
Then you're going to have to ask the goy to do it, not you
Well,
yourself.
let's say if you have no go, how would you do it?
With a timer, we spoke about this.
The grandma way.
Yeah.
Next.
Next.
Unless if it's on top of the platter. Just hang.
Да, если ты его
Yeah,
до Шаббата
he said
поставил.
Shabbat morning.
Put it on. Let it turn on.
But
after
from
half
Friday
an
night,
hour.
you're going to keep it to Shabbat morning? Okay.
Because grandma is Rabbi.
Said it.
And this
Big
is
pot.
Safek, the right.
So, number 4. Is one liable for hardening a soft type of
Тоже
food,
хорошая идея.
such as a soft bread? So we already
Нет,
said
тоже
that.
хорошая идея на Шаббат
So
оставить.
that's allowed
Суп.
because it's already
С платы не
edible, right?
снимать.
Biblically liable.
But if you put it on the side,
Biblically
it's less the heat
liable.
on the side.
Okay, number 5, we spoke about. Is there a prohibition of final hammer blow, final touch, makebe patish, in food? Now, Bechor, I have another rule for you. Listen up to this rule. Very important one. One of the 39 laws of Shabbat is final touch. You know what final touch means, Bechor? Is the last thing that made it usable. Example. You right now, back in the day, they used to give their clothes, there was no suit, tie, shirt, there was no such a thing. Clothes back in the day was a bed sheet with a hole. That was life.
Bedsheet with a hole?
Yeah, regular,
Большой просто.
Prostin такой, дырка in the center, that's it. Person used to go like that was life
Не
back in the day.
одевали костюм масляный.
Look at the Rimlini, Rome, ancient Rome, right? They didn't have a suit and a tie and a shirt and a V-neck, P-neck, all this. There was no such thing. When a person used to give it to laundry, their clothes, sorry, when a person used to give their laundry to clothes, to wash it, sorry, not wash, when they used to sell the clothes, in order for it not to get, how do you call it, the shape should not mess up, they used to stitch the center, and that used to keep everything proportional. Person used to buy it, used to open it himself.
Today also is the same thing.
Yeah?
Some of the suits.
Yeah, some of the suits,
yes,
they have
yes,
like clothes on the side, stuff like that. They used to put it in the center here.
Or the pockets.
On Shabbat, a person wants to take a knife and open it. It's stitched. Wants to rip the stitches of his suit or that bed sheet. Is he allowed to do that on
It's not
Shabbat?
permanent.
You are finishing it.
Which is mine.
You are
Is he allowed to do that on Shabbat?
Today, this today for you have suit today, so all the
Pockets you
pocket
have.
is closed.
You want on Shabbat to
And
open
you
those
said
pockets.
Shechianu, you took the suit new one you put on you, and then the pocket.
Would you
is
be
closed.
allowed to open these stitches on Shabbat?
Beshinur.
Halacha says not allowed by Torah. Like smoking on Shabbat. Why? Those pockets were never usable. It was stitched.
I want to use now.
Now, if you want a final touch it on Shabbat,
Bring you clean.
you broke Shabbat on Torah level. Lo alinu lo alechem.
What's this called?
Makeh bepatish, final touch.
Final touch.
Now, question to you, Bechor, is this prohibition, makeh bepatish, final touch, Torah law? It's one of the 39 laws. Apply. I told you about every time you do pish pish, you see how much we don't know about the laws of Shabbat.
Yeah, we didn't know this.
Pish pish. Pish pish. Wow, Rabbi, I never knew that. I'm happy that he's doing this pish pish, not showing how much it's needed in the Bukharan community, especially.
What's the meaning of this makeh?
Makeh hitting, patish, hammer. The final touch. You needed that.
When you go to
Boom.
judge, what do you do? Like this one, final touch, bang.
No, they used to do
No,
that
sir.
for the
For the rocks.
for the knives.
For the knives, also for the rocks. The Gemara said that a person used to hit in order to make rocks. They used to hit the rock not one time. There isn't such a thing. You're breaking a rock one time. You needed to hit it like 5, 7 times, 10 times, depends on the size and the hammer.
That's how
And the
person.
last one used to make it. You hit it, bam, 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 bam. It didn't break. The last one, boom, it broke. The rock you needed came out from the mountain. If a person did 5 times before Shabbat, hit it, and on Shabbat he made the 6th one, boom, and he fell. That rock.
Broke the law. You're right.
What did he do?
You're right.
He chiseled that, whatever you say, yeah? I don't know say in English. He carved out, maybe, yeah? From the mountain, that piece of rock.
Car.
Not allowed to.
Does he have a use for it?
Whatever, yes, use, not it doesn't matter. Now it's a question of muktzah now, you're going to say. Rock is a muktzah, right? Muktzah is the Rabbanan. Would I be allowed to tell the goy, listen, I need a rock to hold the door? There's a lot of people in the synagogue, there is no air over here. Hi, Yaakov. Take a hammer, go over there to the Eta, give it one time, it's going to come out because I already gave to it 5 times before Shabbat.
Directly to do it, but if you tell him I need
Now,
a stone,
if
he
the rock
does
was
it.
already laying around, it's muktzah problem. The Rabbanan, tell the goy, for mitzvah purpose, I want to enjoy the Shabbat. Allow. But if you say that to break the rock from the mountain, that's the Oraita, I'm not allowed to do by Torah, and I'm not allowed to tell the goy to do it neither.
Directly.
It will be prohibited.
Right.
Now, question Bechor, this concept, makeh bepatish, applies to food? If I had such a food that I was not able to eat it, when I'm gonna put salt, now it's edible. Your wife served you osh palo b'Shabbat.
Carpaccio.
Bechor. Carpaccio, osh palo, whatever it is, namakashnis. Your wife was talking with her mother for too long on Friday when she prepared it. And the osvo became without salt. Bechor? Oh, Bechor.
Doesn't apply.
Sabor Bechor guftam. Gosh kunit. Are you allowed to add salt to your osvo on the langri, on the table?
Yes.
Yeah.
On Shabbat, you allowed or no?
You eat right now?
I'm gonna eat right now. Huh?
There's no final touch for food, for John.
180 grams, allowed or no?
What's happening?
According to our Torah, Bechol, it's allowed.
Wow. There's no final touch on the food.
Why?
Not growing from the ground.
No. You're gonna bring any concept possible. Right now, the laws of Boreh, not growing from the ground, from the laws of Lot. Everything possible to allow it.
No final touch. On
And the answer is, like Kirov says, there is no final touch, prohibition. You made it right now usable. Before that, it was not usable. Now you made it usable. What is it, food? It doesn't apply. No makeh bepatish be'ochalin, when it comes to ochel. Rabbi, I have a pita,
Oh, that's why you can.
or I have American bread. Very soft. I don't like that bread, but that's what I have. Can I put it on the plata and make it usable for me? Without this, I cannot eat that.
Yes.
What about final touch? You made something not usable become usable. You final touch it on Shabbat.
You're not usable. People use it.
Yeah, no final touch on the food.
That's the answer,
that's
Behojo.
it.
You understood or no? Very good. Now, Rabotai, somebody asked me a very interesting question. He says, Rabbi, I go to a restaurant. Give me the Chumash Minor. I go to the
So what
restaurant.
about the suit? You're not allowed to tell
Soup?
also the suit.
Suit, yeah, not allowed.
You're not allowed to say tell goy also.
Yeah, the Oraita.
If you need the packet, it's cold outside.
The Oraita. Can you tell the guy, I need a cigarette?
why
It's
I
cold
have to- I
outside.
have to. Okay.
Not allowed to, it's the Oraita.
But well, I need to now go outside. It's cold like this one. and you
Not
took the
allowed
suit,
to,
it's
Johnny
cold.
Chalfish. Not allowed to. You should have think about it before Shabbat and open. May put it in your pants pocket or put it. Not allowed to. Open on Shabbat also. Now, Bechor, somebody asked me, he goes to the restaurant and he sees over there kashrut kosher. I'm glad kosher nyetu. Can he eat in that restaurant or no? So Ravad Yosef says, if a person is eating meat that is not Bet Yosef, is as is eating tarif. You hear this? Person goes right now eat tarif, another person is eating not Bet Yosef. Glad kosher. In halakha eyes, you eating pig, no difference. Go Chinese restaurant, same thing. Don't waste the money. It's you're wasting the money for lie. If it's not Bet Yosef.
А если голодным остался?
Rabbi, how about going to
Right.
a
If you're gonna die, chas v'shalom, then you eat it. What can you do?
You pig you allowed to.
Rabbi, how about a restaurant? Like what, or a hotel? Let's say you're at a hotel in Israel.
What?
And
In Israel, they don't have a business.
Opposite. Everything.
no,
is
they
Bet
have
Yosef.
in Israel.
Mahapito.
They have in Israel. Also. But not everywhere. Not everywhere. Mahadrin is better.
Bring us Shulchan Aruch. Neria, Shulchan Aruch, пожалуйста. יורד דעה. I believe Lametet. I think Seif Yud. Lametet, I think Seif Yud. Or Yud or Yud Bet. Check it.
So Rabbi, restaurants got kosher, not allowed?
Right.
Wow, really?
יורד דעה. יורד על Lametet. סימן Lametet. Bechor, listen to this. He said, Rabbi, what if I go to relatives that they serving meat, it's not kosher. It's
kosher.
not level kosher. It's a higher level, but I don't know if it's Bet Yosef. Can I eat over there? I'm going to offend them. Agar ne mechuram, amo mana mechura.
Yes, we said no.
Meaning it's glad, it's not better.
It's glad kosher, but I don't know if it's glad kosher or Bet Yosef. I don't know. Can I eat over there or no? So says Rav Yosef. Says Rav Yosef in the Yabi Omer Chelik Hey. He says if a person goes somewhere and he doesn't want to offend the relative is religious. He buys glad kosher, sometimes Bet Yosef, sometimes, but he doesn't buy just prastoy kosher. No, the prastoy kosher many times is not kosher according to our standards.
There's no mashgir.
There is not only no mashgiach. I told you there was one time my relative told me, I know you so many years. You're a famous rabbi. You never come to my home. Come to my home. Say divrei Torah to your relatives. I said, I have no problem. Come to your home, teach Torah. I love teaching Torah. This is my love. but I cannot eat by you. I know I'm going to come to you, you're going to force me to eat. He said, why not? I said, you don't know halachot kashrut. You didn't take the dishes to the mikveh. You don't know where to buy meat. In my house, everything like kosher. I said, okay. Let's go. If you allow me to make everything the right way, I'll come eat by you. Rabbi, check Ishmo Goit. We went bechor from the morning till the evening. Came over there, kashrut the entire kitchen, plates, schmeats, everything. Afterwards, we'll take it to the mikveh. From the morning bechor, all day project was. You know, Bukharis have dishes for Pesach, dishes for Hanukkah, dishes for Purim, this is for dairy, this is for parv, this is for... Million dishes he had, this guy.
Oh my God.
He didn't have any helpers, nobody. We went with him to the mikveh. He dipped everything inside. Be'emet tzaddik. I said, Chal, now listen, we kosher your entire house now. Yeah? I said, now let me see where you buy meat. He takes me, Ruski magazine. Rabbi, don't look at Ruski magazine. This guy, I know him, he's from Bukhara. We grew up together from there.
So,
When I come, he gives me kosher meat. This Ruski magazine has mashgiach. You saw mashgiach there? My friend works there. I come over there. We come with him together.
that means
They see the rabbi, they got all, you see in their face, all nervous. I asked over there the guy, say, oh, he stepped outside. Stepped outside.
Cigarette.
Can I see your kosher meat? Yeah, where is your certificate? I'm not exaggerating. The guy took out cardboard, nice, kartonka, wrote on this O-U, and he put it like this on the meat. I said, what? This miasa? O-U. I said, O-U. How dare you doing such a thing? I said, okay, thank you so much. You understand what you're doing over here? So what? O-U is not pisana. So naive. I said, you think this is OU? This OU, this guy says. I said, from now on, you don't buy it over here anymore. But na pisana kosher. Now it's not pisana kosher. The sign, it says kosher outside. I said, if you eat this sign, you're not going to go to Gehenom. If you're going to eat this meat, you're going to go Gehenom. This sign, the sign is kosher, not the meat is kosher. Like this Bukharian's naive he was. He didn't know nothing. Then I told him, buy in a place, Bet Yosef over there. Says the Shulchan Aruch. You know, whenever there is in the lungs, when the animal, the lungs has many times mucus. I don't know if you ever know, human being also has always liquids between the lungs and the ribs. We also have it. That mucus goes away whenever you breathe. For the friction not to rip the lungs, not to have a hole over there, there's always liquid. Because when you inhale, the lungs become big and there's bones over here. If it's going to be dry, it's going to rub against each other and tear and rip. And then the heart and the liver cannot cool off. What cools off the heart and the liver? They're very hot. They have a lot of friction. You know that? The heart and the liver are very, very hot because they have a lot of friction. What friction they have? The blood circulation. The blood circulates in the liver. It goes, filters it. You know that or no? Yeah. And the heart is pumping the blood all day, all night. It's very hot. Any machine that works for so long, it's going to get hot. What cools off this machine? The lungs. If you're not going to have healthy lungs, chas v'shalom, the whole system is burning out and that's v'dan and shelavikum. Same thing is by animals. The animal, if there is a hole, the body makes up that hole by gluing mucus over there. So the body makes up for that. Now the Gemara tells us, Masachet Chulin, En nekev, en sircha belo nekev. There is no mucus without a hole. If you saw that mucus, and that mucus is sticky, it means there was a hole. Tosafot says, it means it was a hole, it means it will be a hole. Says to Shulchan Aruch, if you're gonna make shchita to the animal, you open in the lungs and you see mucus, tarif. Comes Ashkenazim and say, take it easy. Not every mucus makes tarif.
Business.
Take it, put it inside the balloon, the water, like you check your tires, if there's a remove the mucus. If there is no a hole underneath it, kasher.
Makes sense. If there's no hole.
Makes sense.
Oh, you.
Comes the Rashba, it says whoever does that feeds Am Israel tarif. And that's a Shulchan Aruch Paskin over here. Here right now, Chagai is going to read to us. Huh?
But they're eating. They're not. So they're eating
So,
taref.
yeah?
They're so strict in such a thing.
Oh, that's what
Many things they're strict, and
You are
over
correct.
here they're eating taref. So what they're doing? Is Ashkenazim not stupid?
Did I say this line?
No.
No.
Huh?
Ashkenazim relying on the Rama.
Okay.
But what the Maran, yes, if you'd like I told you. Here, look at the Maran. Kol makom. This Shulchan Aruch Bechor. It's not the New Testament. It is the Biblia, it's Shulchan Aruch. Kol makom. שאסרו
שאסרו
סירוחת הריאה.
אין הפרש
There is no difference.
בין
בין שיהיה סירחה דקה. It does no difference, says Shulchan Aruch, if it's going to be a thin mucus or כחוט השערה, hairline. как на mucus на русском будем? Mucus, знаешь, что это? Слизис, лица?
Слизис.
Slizis. It doesn't matter, says the Shulchan Aruch, if it's going to be hairline, חוט השערה. בין שתהיה עבה, or it's going to be thick, חזקה, ורחבה, כגודל, or it's going to be thick like my finger. ולא כאותם, and not like these people, שמאחים ביד, they remove it with their fingers, ואם נתמאחה, if it was removed, תולים להקל, and they say it's כשר. No, says שולחן ערוך, not כשר. וכל הנוהג, כן, whoever is relying on these leniencies, כאילו מאכיל טרפות לישראל. Making עם ישראל eat טרף.
All this one ועד רבנים.
comes רבותיי אשכנזים, and they put on this, don't mention names, and come the Ashkenazim, Rama says this, glad kasher.
Rama. Okay. So they go by Rama.
Now, Bechor, you in Shamayim, how are you being judged? By Shulchan Aruch Sephardi? Or like Ashkenazi? How are you being judged? Sephardi.
How is the Rama?
If a person is wearing tefillin, Sephardi, wears Ashkenazi tefillin, it's kasher or no? If Sephardi is eating meat based on Ashkenazi, it's kasher or no?
So they're not going to judge them over there? In Shamayim, they're not going to judge them? Yeah. Because Rama said they're
Bet
not going to
Yosef.
judge them?
Bet Yosef. So I explained to you the difference. That's why you have to ask. You go to the meat store, it's not a joke, Bechor. Meat is a very important thing. A person has to buy meat, Bet Yosef.
It says Bet Yosef.
If you don't buy meat, Bet Yosef, Shulchan Aruch says you're feeding your family, tarif. Go to the Chinese store, buy the same meat, $1 a pound, not $10 a pound, no problem. Same level, he says, if it's glad kasher, according to Sephardi people. Shechita is very hard. I did it a few times. Tachti pushtam grif, pochim lesit, the behemet was very, very hard. Because на разделить, тоже it's not only порезать, you have to порезать. You have to check it. Afterward, if it's taref, the person looks at you like you're a big rasha. I brought it all over from Pennsylvania. I brought all the way from Gehenom.com. He brought it all the way from there. It became taref. What do you want me to do? No, shmo abchel kardet. Shmo named on it. Patom, shtunamak you have to do. A lot of shtunamak. Then you have tchio. You have to clean all the fats. It's a lot of work. I did it a few times for myself. It was extremely hard. Now I pay shochet privately. I said, Jonah, first shechita in the morning, it's mine. You check the knife, every single animal. You're opening the lungs slowly, according to the Kaf HaChaim opinion, and you're doing it first one in the morning when your hand is not tired. I pay you on the side extra. You mark it, special cut, you send it to my house. It cost me much more money, much more money, but I put extra expense for that. Зато я знаю, it's not mass production. It's a no opposite. When it becomes mass production, the problems are very much because it's already рука уже устает. Человек он человек, is машинка. He becomes tired, then everything already goes.
Скоро роботы сделают робот.
The robot is not kasher. If you're gonna make AI shohet, it's not gonna work for you. No. The Torah says you have to shechita according to the way I commanded you. So the Gemara learns out from here that only whoever commanded in mitzvot is obligated to do shechita. He's allowed to do shechita. That's a goy cannot do shechita.
No, people gonna do shchita. You're gonna do cleaning everything.
People can do shechita.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people gonna do shchita, bracha, shchita, and they're gonna clean. AI gonna
Bet Yosef, not gonna help. If a person is mechalel Shabbat, na Shabbat работает, на машину сидит, не дай Бог, телефон это, his shechita is like a goy did shechita. That's a Shulchan Aruch Psak Halacha. I told it to you many times. Mechalel Shabbat by Jewish law is like a goy. 100% like a goy. On Sunday, I made a wedding. This last Sunday. I told the guy, listen, it's Sunday. You're making it early. You made the chuppah at 6 o'clock. I said, I'm going to come because I'm not going to miss the shiur. I'm going to come. He was my student from many years before. He said, Rabbi, but not my relatives are not shomer. I said, how are we going to make a chuppah? I said, I have people there. I said, do you have 10 people shomer Shabbat? I said, I have to find out. He found out, Baruch Hashem, there was more than 10 people already shomer Shabbat. But I told him, if there's no 10 people shomer Shabbat, even if it's going to be 100 people over there, I cannot make the chuppah for you. Because there's no minyan here.
If people eating
Cannot make chuppah without 10 people.
You just need to
And the 10 Jews have to be Jews. If it's mechalel Shabbat, nidai boch, na Shabbat na machinu yeh, telefon igrait, business at krevait. All these things, the mechalel Shabbat public is like a goy.
You need 2 edim only, that's it.
No, 2 edim take each. Kiddushin. You gotta make chuppah and kiddushin. Chuppah requires 10 men. Yeah. Masechet be'ktubot, bring. Bring to him, bring.
Too tired. So it's okay. I don't care. It's okay.
What? I didn't sleep. I don't hear you.
If they break Shabbat, not public.
Now it's 9:55. You have a question time. Yes.
Not publicly, he breaks Shabbat, not publicly. Дома сидит сигарет, курит,
Yeah.
телевизор смотрит,
Yeah.
никто не знает.
Big avera he makes, but he's not like a goy.
You have to warn them.
Знал алкоголь?
Not like a goy.
Right.
He made a big avera, but if he does it publicly, finito. He's like 100% goy. Это бепсан делает Богу публично. The whole world knows about it. 10 men knows about it, it's finished. The публично большой грех, but he's not like a goy. He's Jewish. He made avera. It's like eating pig. Much more than pig. He's карет, сакила. Не дай Бог, или он, или дети им рано уйдут. Не дай Бог, чтобы все жили до 120, и наши дети тоже. Просто I'm telling you what's written in the book. So here, you see? אמר רבי יוחנן, מברכים ברכת חתנים בעשרה. Gemara says, where do we learn it from? From Boaz. Boaz, when he got married to Ruth, the Torah says, ויאסוף בועז 10 אנשים. He collected 10 men in order to get married to Ruth. Only it's the story Ruth. So Gemara teaches us from here that anytime you want to get married, no, anashim. No, the word an ish means kasher. שלח לך אנשים ויתור את ארץ כנען. And Rashi says the most important ones cannot be mechalel Shabbat.
They come over there.
So here Shulchan Aruch says, где это Shulchan Aruch?
Я убрал его.
Yeah. The Shulchan Aruch says in Siman Bet, a person that made shechita and he's mechalel Shabbat, like goy made the shechita. Так серьезно это, работай. It's not a joke. It's not a Rabbi Mizrahi scaring you, It's written in the book. He's not hiding anything from you. It's 100% true what he says. That a mechalel Shabbat is like a goy.
Yeah, it's true.
So now, Bechor, says Rabbi Ovadia Yosef, what if you go to relatives that they shomer Shabbat, they eat kasher, but you don't know, they buy Bet Yosef or they buy Gad kasher, and if you say that,
Что надо делать? Кушать или нет?
so says Rabbi Ovadia, if you're able not to eat chicken, eat rice, eat other things, better. What if you don't know, you say, eat, or all of them eat, that's it, they didn't make anything else. You're not going to eat, adasima, patom tziveh, apochim adadut.
מותר.
What do? He says, in order to make shalom, you don't know, maybe it's Bet Yosef. You know it's not Bet Yosef? I don't know. Maybe it's Bet Yosef. So it says, maybe it's Bet Yosef. But Rabbi, maybe it's not. I take the risk. Maybe the glad kasher opinion is also kasher. It's a machloket. So says Rabbi Yosef, in a time of situation like this, not to hurt your relative, you can eat it. You're allowed to. But don't go to restaurants that they are glad kasher without Bet Yosef. Go to restaurants that they are Bet Yosef. Baruch Hashem, we have so many restaurants around over here, Bet Yosef. Вокруг, смотри сколько. Сейчас только сейчас открылся. Вот, около этого.
Which one?
Это on Union right now. Also another, I saw outside written Bet Yosef.
Bistro. Union Bistro?
No, okolo bistro. Not too far from there. I saw also another Bet Yosef. Baruch Hashem, here next door we have Bet Yosef.
There's only signs.
I told him, Bet Yosef, if not, we're not going to work with you. Nothing.
The sign is Bet Yosef.
Here.
They're taking Ashgacha of so
Don't mention names,
they're not-
Rabotai.
They're
Don't
not,
mention
they're
names.
not allowed over there.
No, don't say not
They're
allowed.
not allowed. You cannot buy meat.
Yeah,
Here.
he's right. Some of these Ashkenazi,
What are you talking? I'm inside, was in and out.
The Dafka, they say
They're
that
not
we don't
allowed to
want-
buy
we
the
don't
meat
want
over
Bet
there.
Yosef.
They're fighting with you.
Some of the Ashkenazi sources, they say
Here.
we don't want
Rabbi,
Bet
you're not
Yosef.
listening what I'm saying.
Oh, said it. So you have to
They-
not eat in places that
The
it's not Bet Yosef.
organization not allowed. You want to keep this one? We are top everything. You're not allowed to buy over there. You have to buy what we're gonna tell you. And they
And
don't
Bet-
have.
and Bet Yosef?
They don't have Bet Yosef sometimes.
why?
What are you gonna do? And they have over here many of restaurants. They have the same ashgacha. Why?
This I
What
didn't
they
know.
do? They're eating trefa.
Yeah, Maran, I showed you.
And if you're gonna take the other ashgacha, they're not so strict. They're not so strict. The owner gonna do whatever
You
they
have
wanna
to
do.
eat Bet Yosef.
You have to eat, so you don't have to eat
Now,
outside.
успокойся. Читай. Read over here. This is Shulchan Aruch, סימן ב', סעיף ה'. запомните. 2.5. מומר להכעיס, אפילו לדבר אחד, או שהוא מומר לעבודת כוכבים. A person goes to church. או לחלל שבת בפרהסיה. Or a person breaks שבת בפרהסיה. Or publicly break שבת. או שהוא מומר לכל התורה. Or he doesn't agree with the whole Torah. אפילו חוץ משתיים. Only two things, for example, he says no. דינו כעובד כוכבים. His halacha status is 100% goy. Who says that? The Shulchan Aruch. That's a Rabotai. When you go to relatives, you know the Shomer Shabbat, Baruch Hashem, they keep kashrut. They have glad kasher or Bet Yosef. Я не знаю, может быть, попал у них глад kasher, может быть, Bet Yosef. Not to make machloket, you can eat. But going to restaurants, you initiating it. Когда you already the balabait over the situation,
Again,
make
I'm
sure
telling
it's
you, it's not,
100%.
working.
It's going to be Bet Yosef me. Спросите.
Не работает это. У них нет.
ברוך הגונש בעמו, ברוך אדוני לעולם.
בעיה גדולה.
אמן
האשכנזים לא
ואמן.
אוכלים לפי זה, הם לא הולכים לפי זה. אז זה
Can you
בעיה,
stop the
אין
recording?
לך שם בית יוסף.
יעקב, as soon as you say רבי חנניה, את ברוך אדוני לעולם אמן אמן, you have to stop the recording. שנאמר אדוני חפץ למען צדקו, יגדיל תורה ויגדיל, יתגדל ויתקדש שמך רבה, ועלמא דיברה קירותך והמליך מלכותך וצמח פורקנך ויקרב משכך, וחי יכול מיום יכול וחי לתכות בית ישראל ועלה בזמן קריב